Hello everyone, GHF here. Today, let's disassemble the G-Steel GST-W110 series. Just so you know, I already disassembled the G-Steel 200 series and 300 series as well a few years back. So in this video, I'm just gonna go way more in depth where we'll disassemble the movement as well, not just for the body. And while at it, I'm gonna test for anti-magnetic. Basically, this watch aren't anti-magnetic. Surprisingly, for the cost to own one of these, I expect it to be anti-magnetic, but yep, it seems like it is resisting, but nope, it is not anti-magnetic. Okay. And I already removed all 6 screws, which also have an IP plated to black on the sides. Now let's move on to remove 4 screws that is locking the watch band and the watch bezel as well. And next thing, on the bracelet side, this is how the bracelet on your G-Steel G-Shock looks like. It is a solid end bracelet, and if you want to disassemble it, it's pretty easy. It only uses spring bar. I could remove this clasp altogether. Look at that, pretty easily. All of the links is solid end and is locked with a spring bar as well. So now I could remove another side of this. Look at that. There you go, and it will comes out like that. This is the mechanism that hold the bracelet, that's lock it up into place. I could plug it in here like that, and I could remove it if I wanted to. Next thing that I'm gonna need to do is remove all of the layers that this watch have. Just gonna montage that with some background music so you guys could see how it looks like, and we could save some more time. And before I continue, I just need to show you guys one thing, that it is actually just being taped on this bezel. Take it out like so. So this is the second layer on this G-Steel watch. Okay, look at the tape residue down there, and this second layer. And next we'll have the third layer, which is the metal bezel, which is locked with 4 screws as well in silver because they don't have to iron plate it. And next I'm going to remove 4 screws on the back plate as well. Okay, now I already removed all 8 screws, 4 from the front and another 4 from the back. Now all I have to do is just lift up this part of the watch. So this is where the glass was stamped into. If you want to remove it, punch it out. And the movement is already accessible from the front. And before I continue, this is the back plate, which already been removed as well. Push the movement out by pressing on the indexes like so, and it will fall off. Okay. This is the hard case for the watch, and over here there's an O-ring at the front and a spring to earth the circuit board onto this metal panel or metal bezel. And from the back there's another O-ring that was held by these back plates, of course, because we have 2 accessible points, so we're gonna need 2 O-rings on this piece. This is the movement, which is fully made in Japan. You can see sign over there. Battery placement on 9 o'clock position. Let me measure it real quick. It is only 33 millimeters. So the watch is just a 33 millimeter watch with a lot of padding on the side that makes it look big. Of course, it's gonna look big when you add more padding. Casio could easily add the stainless steel slick casing around it and you'll have a really solid piece at small size, but no, this is a G-Shock. So if you want a small size watch, go get Casio Basic or Casio Oceana series instead, or even the 85 lineup should be good as well. By the way, the casing is quite small. It is resin, not carbon case, but the button, in my opinion, looks really good. You can see there's a button shaft which is also guarded as well, so the construction on this button is pretty cool in my opinion. So let's move on to movement disassembly. So far I already removed the back cushion, side cover, the battery, and this metal panel that lock everything into place, basically also to connect the battery to the circuit board. So on the back you'll see a few more things. This is the springs. Let me pull it out real quick. So this is what connects the circuit board to your piezoelectric speaker. So if you have trouble with the beeping sound, look for this thing. Probably you got rusted or lost. Okay, this is the battery cover, and as you can see, it only have one coil motor down at the center, and the one on top, that is the coil for whip scepter. If you own a non-whip scepter G-Steel model, you'll notice that this part of the watch will have blank space. They basically just take this part out and just leave it as it is. And next, after we remove the hands, the indices are now free. I could just remove it just by using my nails and run it around this movement. It's just being double-sided tape, so it won't be hard to remove. And look at that, pulled off just like that. This thing was held by the index marker on the case, so you don't have to worry this thing coming out as you're wearing the watch, because this thing is holding it into place. So even though it's easy to remove, but it won't comes out as easily. To my surprise, actually, I didn't notice that this thing also made to be on a singular piece like that. It's pretty interesting. From the back it looks like plastic, but from the front, especially this section, looks like aluminum, so I have a feeling that they are glued together. The top part is aluminum and the bottom is plastic, although I cannot be sure on that. It really looks like metal, especially from all those finishing on it. I don't know how Casio make this, but it looks incredibly beautiful. And next we'll have access to the cover for the solar panel, which let me try to scrap it out from the sides. Alright, that should do it. It is also being double-sided tape at the bottom of it, so try to run the tools that you're using all around, especially the center area, and then it will be lift off like that. So this is sort of like the panel, the plate that give the watch the incredible texture. On the close-up you'll see how it looks like. This is what makes the watch looks beautiful, and it's also covered the standard, the boring solar panel design. So great idea by Casio. And now we have access to the solar panel. There's a ring around here on the side. The black thing is actually the holder for the LED lights down here. I don't want to remove that because the last time I did it, you guys already saw the video, I break the leg. It only have copper material for the leg, the connector, positive and negative, and it is being coated with silver aluminum, so it is incredibly soft and really easy to break. So I don't want to remove that, although you could remove it, but be very careful because there's a spring that connects from the circuit board all the way to the solar panel down here at 6 o'clock positions. It is so tiny, so if you want to remove that, be very careful. Okay, now I think I could pull the movement out from the back because the hand's already been removed. Just lift this front section like so, and there you go. You'll have access to the circuit board on the inside already. Apologize for the blur just now. This camera is pretty hard to get in focus. Okay, this is the coil. The gears are all in there. This is the two springs that connect to the circuit board that tells the motors what to do, and more springs over here that connect to the LED lights. Oh, notice that the circuit board connects to the LED lights from the front, and it goes from the bottom and all the way up like a U shape. This is the circuit board, which could be easily removed already. I believe there's a clip over here, 3 of them. Just unclip them and you could lift up this circuit board like so. We are coming to the last part of the video where I'm just gonna show you guys all the parts that's already been removed out of this G-Steel series. As far as the movement sections, again, this is the indices, this is the faceplate, or to diffuse the sunlight that hits the solar panel even better, I guess. This is the digital display, 1, 2, 3 section for all these 3 holes, and this is the R connector, and this is the hour and the minutes hands. Well, pretty basics. This is the compartment for the springs, the battery, and also for the LED lights. This is the circuit board, which is surprisingly incredibly complicated for the function that this watch has to offer. So this is something I'll need to focus on a little bit, because despite having similar functions in most Casio G-Shock watch, I appreciate that Casio always designed them differently for different series. They really don't have to do it, they just have to tweak 1 or 2 a little bit. But if you watch my other disassembly video, you'll notice that all of these circuit boards are different, so I appreciate the efforts. Although, as you can see, it's very complicated. On this side, however, it's pretty simple. So next is the diffuser for the LED lights on the digital display, and also reflected. That white paper is the reflector, and LED lights over here for the analog section, which I didn't remove. Connector for the battery itself, spring for the piezoelectric speaker, guard on the side, and back cushioning, which really doesn't really matter because the watch is already tough enough already. Okay, let's zoom out a little bit so you can see all the other parts that this watch have all together. Again, I already explained all this. As you can see, they are pretty complicated for G-Steel that really didn't have a lot of functions to offer. And I hope this video will be helpful for you to decide whether you should spend that amount of money on a G-Steel or not. Whether you found it in used condition or in brand new conditions, at least you know what you are purchasing for. And if you have issues in the future, at least I hope you could find some of these parts and swap them out, or at least you'll know what to look for. So I hope this video will be helpful. Hit that like button, that really gonna help telling me whether you really like the kind of contents or not. And also don't forget to subscribe as well. Thank you very much for watching, guys. This is gshock, and oh yeah, I'm gonna need to disassemble this one next.